What's going on, guys? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and today I'm checking out the ZF Soft Wallet or Pocket Pouch by Zero Feud. So it just so happens that all three that I picked out are in this 420D Hex Textured Nylon, which you can get a little bit better view of on the back side here. But they do also come in a 1000D nylon as well, and those colors in general are a little bit more subdued. They have some like red and purple, I think, in those colors, so they're not all just kind of subdued colors, but most of the brighter colors are in this 420D Hex Textured Nylon, and that was kind of what I was drawn to, so obviously what I picked up. These are $18 over on their website. They probably have a good 15 or more colors. I didn't actually count them out, but there's quite a bit, and again, both those materials, and both are going to be $18 no matter which material you choose. And so these are 3 inches by 4.5, and they have a 1.5 inch loop panel on there, so you can put rain dry patches, and also a number 5 YKK short tab zipper pull. And so with all of these, I like to kind of build a loadout anytime I do a review of a pouch, just so you can get an idea of what fits in there. And since I had 3 of them, I built kind of similar loadouts, but very different at the same time, but they all have kind of the same functionality, but different variations of the tools inside. But the thing I really like about this wallet is it fits really well in either a front pocket or back pocket. It's pretty compact, and it can be used as a wallet, although none of them are set up in that configuration, or just kind of a pocket organizer. So on the front, I have some rain dry patches from Opifex, Zero Feud, Loose Nut EDC, Gondek EDC, and Notorious EDC. Most of them, with the exception of, I think, the Haterade ones, which comes with the set, are all sold out. So rather than link to the store, I'll link to the Instagram, and if you give them a follow, they'll usually announce drops in their stories and posts. So if you're interested in the makers, those are available, but most of the pouches no longer are. But yeah, let's get into the actual pouches, and we can walk through what's in here. You can see some are a little bit fatter. This one's kind of pushed to the limit width-wise, whereas this one's a little bit thinner, but it's kind of pushing up at the top. So there's a little bit of leeway there, but obviously you don't want to stuff them too tightly. But let's kind of move these out of the way, and we'll start with this first one. And so once you open it up, in the back you can see there's kind of a high-vis orange, which in this case the entire thing is high-vis, but obviously the back on, like the more subdued ones where they're black or olive, drab, or tan, that orange is going to be nice in the background, just so you can kind of see what's going on inside of the pouch. And let's start over here on the left. I have this is a County Calm Meritac, this kind of utility knife. You unscrew this and it slides out, and then you can screw it back in to hold it in place, and once you screw it back in, it stays. So each of them I'm going to have a different variation of a utility knife. This one's really cool. I think it might already be sold out. It was a limited run, but they come back from time to time, even their limited runs. Next up I have a small multi-tool. This one's the Leatherman Micra. A chapstick, which isn't actually a chapstick. This is the Spie stick from Imminent Threat Solutions. And so inside of here, you'll have a button compass in the lid, and this kind of stuck in there. You can't really get it out anyway. And then some kind of lock picking tools. You see a small tension wrench, as well as a few lock picks, a handcuff key, and some other small tools. Not gonna pull that all out because I don't want to stuff it back in right now, but I'll put a link down in the description if you want to check out what's inside of here. But they stuff them in there really well. Next up I have a Rory Van Bon Aurora A5. So just a small little flashlight. These are great little flashlights from Rory Von, and they're pretty cheap, like 20 to 30 bucks. I don't know this exact model, but they tend to be pretty cheap, and very bright little flashlights. That's obviously in a low mode, but they get brighter. So really cool little flashlights. This one also has the glow-in-the-dark frame. So there's this slide light, which is a UV light, but it doesn't actually function as a UV. It's just to kind of charge that glow for you. Next up, We have a small pry bar. This one is the 2-inch curved widgie from Countycom. As well as another Countycom item. This one seems to be pretty Countycom heavy. It's a small peanut lighter. Doesn't look like it's looks like the fluid evaporated on this one, and that's pretty common. It doesn't last very long on these because they're so small. The kind of bank of fluid is very minimal, so they don't tend to last very long. So would always make sure that's filled up if you're going to carry one of these. And last but not least, we have a J-Ho credit card knife. So this is just kind of a credit card shaped knife with a really nice long edge there. Really good for actually cutting up boxes, opening packages. The corners are pretty sharp and good for slicing. And so that's everything I had inside of the first patch, or first pouch, I'm sorry. But you'll see kind of a theme that these are all going to be pretty similar in the tools that I tried to get in there. Up next we have the orange pouch, and this one, the zipper is getting cut, there we go. So right up top we have another lighter. This is a New Myth, similar to that peanut, a little bit bigger obviously, probably also out of, actually this one's not out of fuel. So just another of these Zippo style lighters, but in a canister form. So a little bit bigger, and that's what was causing a lot of the bulk on this one. It actually is pretty flat after you remove the lighter. But I didn't have a lot of small lighters. So next up is for lock picking. We have a tension wrench that kind of snaps into the side, as well as a bunch of different picks that rotate out. It's a little bit stiff, but let me just pull it out so you can kind of see some picks that rotate out, and there's 5 different ones in there. And then it stores the tension wrench. There's a little slot right here where you can push it in, and it stores it there. I don't have the tools closed all the way, so that's why it didn't stick in place. And that just kind of sits up here, and then you can push it into place there. And so just kind of a cool little lockpick set. And for a multi-tool, I have the Victorinox Swiss Card Lite. So this is their credit card style multi-tool. It's got some tweezers, a nice ballpoint pen in here, a small knife, some scissors pulling out over here, a magnifying glass, and a tool, as well as a flashlight on here, which, there we go. Not very bright, but you can kind of see it lights up there. So that's what I had in terms of multi-tool / credit card tool. For the flashlight, which obviously there's one on the card, but I packed the Olight i1R2 Pro. And this one's just a twist. When you twist it a little bit, it has a low mode, and then you can twist it all the way for the high mode. So nice small flashlight there, and another really great option for a keychain light or any kind of compact light that you need. Next up we have the Ruck utility knife. This one works a little bit differently. You just kind of press down and then slide. There's a little piece here applying pressure to the back of the blade, so if you're not pressing down, it kind of holds it in place, but when you press down, you can slide it in or out. And this one has kind of a flathead screwdriver / pry bar. All those aluminum, so I wouldn't do any heavy prying with it, as well as a bottle opener. And then when the blade is closed, there's a small like rope cutter type thing there. And so that's the utility knife for this one. And then for the pry bar, we just have a small 511 pry bar. This one has the hex driver there, so if you have bits that you want to throw in there, you can use that, as well as the bottle opener, and kind of a different pry on each side. So that is the orange, and looks like a little bit of room. I'm just going to move everything over just a bit and get this closed up. Just so we have a little more room. And then for the blue one, and the last pouch here, we have our flashlight right up top. I think this, I forget the name of it, I'll put the link down in the description. Oh, it actually has it on here. It's the Nitefox E1 maybe? Pretty small, so I will put the link down in the description for this, but It's another one that you just kind of twist it. It's only got one mode, which is pretty low, and these use kind of those small non-rechargeable batteries, so you do have to change those out from time to time. I have a bunch of them, and if you leave it sitting, you also have to change them out pretty frequently, or at least clean off the batteries. So you shouldn't store the batteries in there if you're not going to be using it. But that is the flashlight for this one, the smallest of all three, but also the least features and least bright. For the Pry Tool, we have a Gerber shard. This is the Blade HQ exclusive version, just same thing, just the color's a little bit different. But the Gerber shard, this one has a Phillips screwdriver as well as the bottle opener and nail puller and pry bar. Next up, for the utility knife, this is the Gerber exchanger blade. This just kind of flips out like this and locks up there. And it's a liner lock, so it just kind of folds up into place. And probably the bulkiest of all of the utility knives I have in there. For a multi-tool in this one, we have the Gerber splice, which similar to the Leatherman is kind of based around scissors. So a nice little small multi-tool with a few different tools in there. And for fire, rather than a knife this time, I went with matches. This is a County Com matchbox, and this just kind of slides out and you can store matches in there. And you have the striker on either side. And I have some spare strikers that you can store in there as well. I don't have them in there right now, but probably a good idea if you're worried about these kind of either rubbing off and just normal wear and tear or getting wet. It might be a good idea to store some inside of there. And then last up for the blue pouch is our lockpicking / credit card option. And so this is a credit card made to look like a credit card, not very convincing. It says James Bond on there. Also, it's really thick, so no one would believe this is actually a credit card. But it is kind of cool that it does slide out and you have a full lockpicking set. One of these is going with it. Each of the lockpick sections are double layered, and then you have the tension wrench in the middle. So just kind of a credit card lockpicking set. Had a few of these on the channel from Grim Workshop and County Com, but those are very different. They work in like a retention system, whereas this one's in a drawer. So that's my setup for all three of these. As you can see, they all have kind of the same functionality, just in different form factors. And so I thought that was kind of fun to try and put together different kits using different tools, but with the same functions. But yeah, overall, really enjoying these. I might try and get at least one of the kind of more subdued colors. I'm not trying to be covert with these or anything like that. They just kind of fit in my pocket and are fun little pouches, and so thought it would be fun to get these in the really bright colors. I really like the way this Hex Textured Nylon looks. Just kind of pops really well, and so I like these bright ones, but if you're into the subdued ones, definitely check them out. But let me know down in the comments below which of the three kits was your favorite, and thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And as always, I hope you have a great one.